Don't want to say that I think it's unmarketable, but you know, when I set out to kind of create this large cyberpunk project, I knew that I wanted my contribution to the genre to be genuinely something that I haven't encountered before and something that I wanted to read. And it's just one of those things where it's like the chances of other people wanting to read this exact thing that I wrote, I'm doubting it. I'm really proud of it, and I feel I go through these like ups and downs where I'm not sure if I'm like allowed to feel proud about my writing, but I'm really, really proud of this story. I hope you guys enjoy it when it's out later this year. This is a very exciting part of my current project to be vlogging. We're like in the climax. Tensions are high, things are happening, people are dying, the world is burning, you know? Just really fun stuff to write. I had like a 3,000 word day, which is probably the most I've written in a single day for this project. I think I'm writing like the last 4 chapters of the act. So then part 4, which is basically, I guess it's kind of a denouement. I kind of like to separate the climax from the sort of like end part of the book, which is why I have a part 4. I still think that the manuscript is gonna probably end up in and around 100,000 words. I'm not stressed about it anymore. I really don't care how long the first draft is. I don't care if it's super long. I'm having a really good time writing it. Actually, someone had suggested, I think someone had commented on one of my videos and suggested that I do a video where it's just like a whole day or a whole vlog of just writing for fun, so like just projects that I don't really have any plans to publish, and I feel like that's a really good idea. I think I'm gonna consider making that video at some point. I think especially once I finish writing this current book, I'm really gonna want to just chill out. I think I'm gonna spend some time, at least a few weeks, just writing short fiction because I really need a break. That's the plan. I'm gonna work through the climax of this book. I don't know how long it'll take me to get through kind of like 3 chapters. I think the insane part of the book happens across these 3 chapters at the end of part 3. It's crazy. There are just so many crazy things happening right now. Like back when I was outlining this in September, like this is the part of the book that I was like literally dreaming about. It's taken me a long time to write this. I think I started writing this in September, March. It's the end of March. It's been about 6 months. It'll end up being around 7-8 month writing process, which is way longer than I thought it was gonna take me, but I think it's just because I didn't realize how long the book was really gonna be. It's very fun to be like excited about my writing, especially for 2 or 3 vlogs straight. I've just been very happy with what I'm writing. Let's get this day started. I think I will spend a little bit of time just reading over what I wrote last night. I did have a 2 a.m. writing session. Am I extremely tired? Yes. But yeah, I'm gonna read over what I wrote yesterday, then I'm gonna eat, and then we'll continue with our day and we'll see what we can write tonight. We have another package from Ana Luisa. Let's try it on together. I'm really excited about these pieces. Let's start with the earrings. Y'all, okay, I need to show you guys what I got. Look at these. Oh my gosh, they're dangly. I have been looking for some nice, inexpensive, good quality dangly earrings. I feel like this is a type of piece that I don't have in my collection yet. Speechless, screaming, crying, throwing up. So pretty, oh my gosh. The other pair of earrings that I got is actually for my mom. Fun fact about my mom is she watches all my videos, so they're kind of like these simple hoops, but they have this really pretty like braided gold texture to them. There's one thing that I really cannot resist from the Ana Luisa collection. It is their necklaces, and specifically their necklace sets. So I have picked out this gorgeous set. I don't have anything like this. It's kind of like a pearly stone. I mean, even this on its own is really pretty. My favorite set I've gotten yet. Since Mother's Day is coming up, Ana Luisa is currently running a spring sale right now. So if you guys are looking to build out your jewelry collection, I cannot recommend them more. They have really fast and secure shipping. And if you're new to this channel, this is not the first time I've partnered with Ana Luisa. Prior to partnering with them, even before I had a YouTube channel, they were my go-to brand for building out my personal jewelry collection. I purchase pretty much like several times a year from them for myself and for gifting to friends and family. So speaking of gifts, with Mother's Day coming up, if you're wondering what you want to give to your mom this year, any maternal figure or friend in your life, I definitely recommend checking out the Ana Luisa catalog. But if you end up missing this promotion, you can use my discount code and click the link in the description box, pick something up for your mom, your friends, yourself, and you can still get a discount off of your next purchase. So Ana Luisa's Mother's Day sale is buy one, get one 60% off. And the promotion is running from now until May 10th, so definitely check it out if you haven't already. If you're new to Ana Luisa, they are a carbon neutral brand. They make dainty, everyday jewelry pieces that are built to last while still being affordable. Here is me gifting the earrings to my mom. She loves them, and it's a perfect accent piece for her. Once again, if you missed the Mother's Day sale, you can still get a discount using my code at checkout. Thanks again to Ana Luisa for partnering with me on this video. Okay, today has been a little busy, a little tiring. I don't know what it is about like when I kind of get into these like writing flow states. I feel like my word count gets like really out of hand. We're gonna hit 90K before we even get to part 4 of this book, which is just hilarious to me. It's kind of, I think, part of the fun that I'm having, other than just like playing with dialogue and stuff like that, is I feel like this main character is like at a point where he's really cracked, you know? Like I mean his composure has cracked, and we're not like there yet in terms of really having him wild out, but we're almost there, and I can like taste it going through. He's gonna be fighting some battles mentally. I keep writing. It is a new day. I'm so tired. I slept, oh my god, my sleep schedule has gotten really messed up this weekend. I ended up sleeping at 3 a.m. I don't know why, I just couldn't fall asleep. So yesterday was a Saturday. I woke up, I had coffee, breakfast, and then I literally wrote, I want to say from like 12:30 to 5:30 p.m. So it was a long writing session. I obviously like took a couple small breaks in between to eat and stuff, but I basically was writing for like 5 hours straight. When I took a break for dinner, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna write for the rest of the day because I seriously feel like writing right before I go to bed, especially when sometimes it's fine, but I think the point where I'm at right now in my draft has made it so that like I'm like so awake up here if I write before I go to bed, and I have a really hard time falling asleep. So I think on Friday night I had slept at like almost 4 o'clock, and that was just, I was like, I can't do this anymore. So on Saturday night I tried to sleep a little earlier, but then I still couldn't sleep. Even though I slept at 3, I forced myself to wake up at a decent time today, so that's why I'm tired. But I'm hoping that because I'm tired, I'll be able to sleep like a normal human being tonight. I'm gonna get some writing done. I just kind of spent the morning doing like chores and getting ready for the week and stuff like that. I'm gonna hopefully finish the chapter that I'm currently writing right now. I think I can do it today. Like at the rate that I'm going, I think I can really get through this chapter. I'm almost done the chapter. Probably the most intense chapter in the entire book. It's basically like the climax. Like this is the chapter where a lot of things go crazy for our characters. So yeah, definitely the most like externally intense. There's a lot of chaos and destruction. So I think that's another reason why it was like, I had a hard time falling asleep, was because like I was writing such an intense chapter that like I couldn't really turn my brain off in the middle of it. And I feel like with these kinds of chapters, I have to write almost all of it in one sitting because it takes me a while to kind of like ease into the mood. I'm probably just going to write while I watch some basketball. Honestly, perfect Sunday for me is like watching a basketball game while doing some writing. Oh my god, can you tell? I feel like I'm getting so old, you guys. I also realized that I forgot to give a word count update a couple days ago. I was around 83,000 words, and right now, after some cutting, some editing, 87.4. I'm really trying to fight the urge not to like over edit myself, because I feel like I don't have to. Like, I feel like I should just allow myself to write whatever the heck I want to write. But the end of this book is like, it's so close. This is kind of like a gory chapter, what I'm writing. Not gory, but like, I feel like there's some body horror, and I do not like writing this kind of stuff. Like, it makes me queasy, but also I feel like I have to kind of dig a little deeper to convey horror that I'm trying to convey. Just woke up like 20 minutes ago. I slept so late again yesterday. So I wanted to give another writing update. It's been a couple days. I've kind of slowed down from writing over the past few days. Particular reason, I just felt like I had to chill out a bit. Like, I had to do something else. I really felt myself like getting like too entrenched in the story. It's weird because I know that I've talked before in like previous videos about the importance of being able to like step away from your draft and don't forget to live life and do other things, and you're able to like come back more refreshed. And this week I could feel myself not doing that. I could feel myself getting a little too crazy. I hit a chapter, it's the second last chapter of part 3, and it's kind of a transition chapter, sort of the start of the denouement, but I would still kind of consider it the climax a little bit. The chapter that immediately follows the most intense chapter in the entire book. I think when I hit that sort of like slower, quieter chapter, my emotions were so high that I kind of realized that this might be a good place for me to just like chill, go back to my usual writing schedule of like 500 words a day. The other reason that I kind of slowed down a little bit, like I didn't write at all yesterday actually. I think now that I am almost done the book, like I'm maybe 80% of the way through, I'm starting to see how much this book sort of differs from my usual projects. I'm starting to doubt the likelihood of how many other people will enjoy this book and will understand why I wrote it, and will understand why I wrote it in the way that I did. Don't want to say that I think it's unmarketable, but it is one of those projects that is like literary first, very character driven, but it's still speculative, but all the speculative elements are in service to the characters. And I know that on paper that sounds like really generic, and you're probably like, what are you talking about? But I think I've been reflecting a lot on how I would potentially take this into the queer trenches, and I'm kind of doubting whether or not this story will float. It can be pitched in one sentence, but I think the pacing of it is definitely on the slower side of what I think the market would want for a cyberpunk novel. And it makes me worried because, you know, when I set out to kind of create this large cyberpunk project, I knew that I wanted my contribution to the genre to be genuinely something that I haven't encountered before and something that I wanted to read. And it's just one of those things where it's like the chances of other people wanting to read this exact thing that I wrote, I'm doubting it. At this point, I know I will finish writing it because I got through genuinely the hardest chapters in the entire book. That is where my headspace is at the moment. I really am writing this like 100k manuscript only for me, huh? I think I have a weird taste in stories. It's a weird place to be as a writer when some of the ideas that you're most passionate about, you're not sure that they'll ever see the light of day. Or maybe I'm just writing a book that only makes sense to me. No idea. I'm kind of losing my mind. So anyways, what a great morning chat. Thank you guys for joining me on this crisis. I'm gonna get ready for the day and I'm gonna try to actually do some writing today. A somewhat more exciting update. My cyberpunk short story, Sway With Me, which I started writing basically a year ago now. It's getting published later this year. The editorial process is going to be starting soon and I am nervously and excitedly waiting to see what kind of edits I am gonna get back, because I was skimming the story. At a line level, there were definitely some edits that I personally would like to make now that I am looking at it with completely fresh eyes and I'm looking at it almost like in a very detached way. Like I'm not as emotional about this story now that I've had some distance. I'm ready to hear critiques about it now in a way that I might not have been like a year ago. I'm still waiting to hear back from the editors about what kind of edits they'll have, and I'm definitely nervous, but I think it's a good kind of nerves. Oh my god, it's gone, it's gone. I fucking forgot it. Time for a writing update. I did a decent amount of writing this weekend, definitely not as much as I had planned. Was getting a little frustrated with myself and I didn't want to try to write through the frustration because I think it was the kind of frustration that could be solved by just kind of like stepping away for a bit. Calming down, you know. Today I've been writing for about an hour. I was finishing up the second last chapter of part 3. I started the last chapter of part 3. The thing that I got stuck on is I feel like basically starting like the denouement part of the book where the craziest sort of climax point has happened, and so we're now in the start of having to like tie things together, right? The character payoffs, right? The thematic payoffs, a lot of resolutions, and just, yeah, tying up character arcs. And I was just getting a little frustrated because I wasn't sure if I was like missing a scene. And overall, I'm feeling like if I need to write that additional scene, I'll probably just do it in a second draft at this point. Can you tell I'm so tired and I haven't like had a good sleep in like 3 days? Okay, I haven't done a writing update in a few days. The past few days have just gotten like really randomly warm and I just don't do well in the heat. So I feel like I've actually hit like a minor roadblock with my draft. I call it minor because I know at this point I'm gonna get through it. Yeah, that like last chapter of part 3, I just meditations that I want the main character to make. I feel like I intuitively know what I want them to be like in my head. Now that I'm actually here writing the chapter, I'm like, am I doing this right? Am I actually writing all of the reflections, meditations? Am I missing something? I don't know. I think I just like built up the ending to be so important in my mind, and I just feel like I'm not living up to the expectation that I set for myself. But yeah, because writing has been so slow, I've kind of been trying to occupy myself with other things. I was doing some beta reading for Lynn. Kind of done a little bit of a writing swap. I mean, I gave her and Kelly like 20,000 words, and Lynn gave us 5,000 or 6,000 words. So they're both still reading. I sent them, which is basically the first 6 chapters of Local Heavens. I haven't looked at any of their feedback yet. I don't want to know. It's gonna distract me. But yeah, I finished reading what Lynn had sent over. It was a lot of fun. I realized that I've just really loved beta reading, like being able to like be a part of first stages and like be trusted with that work and kind of like interact with the piece before it's in its final form. It's really special.
Parang matte na gano'n. Mali ang pronunciation mo, Beck.
It is 7:30. Did I get any writing done today? Absolutely not. I'm truly, I'm scared I'm flopping. It's too late for me to flop. Like, we're already at the end of this book. I can't be flopping like this. I actually have a call with Lynn soon. I'm so incredibly nervous and also very, very excited. Lynn has read the first 6 chapters of this book. I'm so nervous to hear her feedback. I also was reading her opening chapter, so we're gonna call about that as well. We're calling in like 30 minutes. I'm just gonna eat really quick. Talking with Lynn is going to be like the first time that I've talked about this project with literally anybody, but this is the first time that I've gotten someone with raw eyes on the project, and I'm just like so scared. I was gonna vlog after I had my call with Lynn, but we actually ended up talking for so long. Like, we talked for maybe 3 hours or so. I honestly feel really, really blessed, honored and grateful. And I came out of that call just feeling so heartened and happy and excited to finish this book. Like, I'm genuinely grateful to have writer friends. Yeah, Lynn was very generous in giving her feedback and in answering all the questions that I had. I was honestly super shocked at how overwhelmingly positive her feedback was. Like, I really genuinely did not expect that, and I'm so also nervous but mostly excited to have her read the entire project, because I'm really curious to see how she's gonna like take in the whole story. Yeah, I sent her the first 6 chapters, which I think are like the 6 most, like, those are like the establishing chapters of the project. She read it all. She read it super fast. I think the one thing that I was so immensely shocked and happy with was just how immediately she seemed to understand like what the soul of the project is and like why I'm writing it. When I started like asking her questions about the world and the plot and the character, she just got it. There were like some world building things where I was like nervous to see what her opinion would be of it, because I wasn't sure if the world building details were going to be clear, if they made any sense, if they were coming across in the way that I wanted them to come across. She just understood all of it, and I'm just like floored. It looks like the edits came through from Augur magazine. Yeah, okay, so one of the editors has reached out and they sent over their initial edits, but I don't know, let's just react to it together. I'm just gonna take in the comments. I'm just gonna take them in. When this editor sent over the first email to basically say that edits were starting, I was actually really excited. I didn't feel any nerves at all. I think over the past like couple weeks since then, I've done a lot of reflection on, you know, what the purpose of this story is and why it means a lot to me, and I'm like remembering why I wrote it, which I think is a good thing because I think it'll help me edit. It's also making me nervous. Okay, first paragraph, very positive and very kind. I'm not breathing right now. I actually really enjoy how granular these edits are. Like, they're almost like logistical, the way actions are choreographed in the scene. So I'm actually really excited to like dive into all of this. Okay, now that I've like actually seen the edits that they have put in. I think that they're great. I think all my nerves are gone. The way that they have reinforced how much they enjoy the story, but also specifically why they enjoyed the story in like in a very, very detailed manner. They've outlined on a character level, on a world building level, and on a thematic level what they've really enjoyed about it, and that really just means a lot to me as a writer. So I'm really excited to get started on this editing process. Okay, I just got off the call with my editor for Sway With Me. We went together through all of the edits that she left on the piece, and we talked extensively about like what my inspiration for the story was and what my intention was, and like really tonally and stylistically how I wanted this story to feel and land. And I honestly just feel so blessed that I get to work with a team and an editor that understands the story so deeply and really kind of sees the editorial process as collaborative. I think my like biggest fear was having to kind of go through an editorial process where the power dynamic is like really imbalanced, and as a writer I would feel like cornered into just kind of making the edits that the magazine wants me to make. But she really cared about like my vision for the piece, and every single edit that we went through, whether it was big section or even just like a tiny line edit, like a word choice change, we were really able to like talk through every single thing. Sway With Me was such a hard piece to write emotionally. Having to go back into that world and back into that character for this editorial process was something that kind of scared me. Yeah, just my editor came in with so much compassion and so much excitement. She really understands like the intersection of like where I wanted this piece to sit as a cyberpunk piece. I just have no words. Like I feel so fulfilled. I feel so grateful. I am so excited for this story to be out there. I think it is really reflective of like where my writing is right now tonally. Now that I'm going through all these edits, like it's really sinking in that this piece is gonna be like published and people are gonna be able to read it. I'm really proud of it, and I go through these like ups and downs where I'm not sure if I'm like allowed to feel proud about my writing, but I'm really, really proud of this story. I hope you guys enjoy it when it's out later this year. We do have a couple edits that we were talking through that we didn't like address together in the call, so this week I'm going to just go back and do another round of edits, and then we're gonna start or like clean up some line edits, and that's gonna be kind of like my plan for the next week. I think I'm gonna end the vlog here. Got through a lot over the course of these few weeks. I think overall, even though my progress has kind of slowed down with Local Heavens, I'm pretty glad with where I'm at right now with the book. I spent this morning actually finalizing the flow of the last few chapters. The flow gets a little confusing. Like I realized that Local Heavens is a frame story, so there's kind of like some cuts back to present day. The cutting back and forth gets a little bit more frequent, and so it's a little bit of some non-linearity, and I have to iron it out. So I'm gonna do that today actually. I'm gonna kind of let Sway With Me sit so close. We are probably one more vlog away from being at the end of Local Heavens, and it's crazy. Like it's actually crazy. I know I've said it before, but Sway With Me is like one aspect of cyberpunk that is interesting to me right now. I can't wait for you guys to read it. I can't wait to finish Local Heavens. Anyways, I am going to get to writing now. Once again, if you are looking for a great Mother's Day gift, or you just want to treat yourself, definitely take advantage of their current sale. You can use my code, click the link in the description box. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video, and once again, a huge thank you to Ana Luisa for partnering with me. I hope all of your writing projects are going well, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Did you really think one night could let me down? Girl, you know you're the one.